Take a close look at this new sport utility. Is this the new face of Suzuki? It's certainly the new face of the XL7, the largest, most powerful SUV in the company's history. It was dreamed up purely for the North American market, where traditionally 7-occupant SUVs have sold well. And believe me when I say, the XL7 is very large. The XL7's got the kind of roominess inside needed by growing families. There's even a third row. It's a little challenging to get into, but once you open it up, there's a fair bit of room to get inside. And as you can see, I can fit in quite well. There's enough headroom, there's decent legroom, even in the third row. More importantly though, will be the amount of room that's available behind the back row. It's about 14 cubic feet or 400 liters, which is about the size of the average mid-size sedan. And if you fold the back seats flat, there's actually 2,700 liters of space, or about 95 cubic feet, which equals a lot of room. It didn't acquire all this interior room by accident. It's actually larger than a lot of large SUVs in the segment, like Honda's Pilot and Jeep's Commander. So where did Suzuki, a company that's only ever made compact SUVs before, get the components to make such a vehicle? That's an interesting story. First of all, Suzuki is unlike most other automakers in that its smaller size makes it rely on a number of external partners to cooperatively develop and produce many of its vehicles. The partnership between Chevrolet and Suzuki is unique. The XL7 was loosely based off of the very popular Chevy Equinox and recently introduced Pontiac Torrent, although you'd be hard-pressed to see any similarity between the XL7 and either GM SUV at first glance. Most noticeable are its somewhat odd but nevertheless attractive multi-angular headlight clusters, followed by a grille and fascia treatment that's unique to Suzuki. Its distinctive styling is critical to the XL7's success. It looks different in the rear too, including a vertically shaped liftgate featuring a curved rear window that goes further to separate the XL7 from the masses. The taillights aren't as radically designed as the lenses up front, but still tie the entire design together quite nicely. From back to front, it's the kind of SUV you won't have to make excuses for. Like, well, it's kind of ugly, but you won't believe the deal I got. Or, I don't have to pay interest for a whole year. To those in the know, it's pretty easy to see the GM influence inside the cabin. From the instrument cluster to the dash top, center stack, and lower console, it's a lot like the Equinox and Torrent. The steering wheel is obviously a GM piece, but Suzuki's detailed it quite nicely. And like the steering wheel, the audio system's right out of the GM parts bin, but it's the best one they've got. What really separates the new XL7 from the Torrent and Equinox is its engine. Where the Equinox and Torrent have a 3.4-liter engine made in Mexico and China of all places, the 3.6-liter dual overhead cam 24-valve V6 in the XL7 is actually made in Japan, but it's actually the same engine that's in the Cadillac CTS, the Buick Allure, and a few other GM products. With 252 horsepower and 243 pound-feet of torque, it's got a lot of passing power. What makes the engine so efficient is its 5-speed automatic transmission. It's optimized for quick downshifts and great fuel economy. The XL7's 4-wheel independent suspension is set up for comfort more than performance, but it actually handles pretty well through the corners. We took it on some pretty spirited drives this morning, and I was surprised at how well it stuck to the pavement. Suzuki hasn't forgotten about safety either. Standard with the XL7 are ABS brakes, traction, and stability control. At the end of the day, Suzuki's built a pretty compelling 7-passenger SUV. It won't be to everybody's taste, especially when it comes to its radical new styling, but to some people, it'll be absolutely perfect. That's what matters, sticking out in a very crowded SUV crowd, and Suzuki definitely will do well with the XL7. I'm Trevor Hofmann signing out for the new Driver's Seat.